Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to draft a simple and basic bucket hat using a pattern paper. If you're interested in making this simple bucket hat, let's go. So guys, for these bucket hats, you will need like two different colors of paper, the brown one and the white one, just for us to differentiate the different parts of the bucket hat. So I'm going to be telling you the measurements of this brown paper, and for the brown paper I used 15 by 12 inches. The length is 15, just like I measured in this video. You can see 15 inches by the width and 12 inches by the length, just for you to get accurate measurement. I think that's enough for anybody. So first thing that you're going to do is you're going to measure your head circumference to get the circle above the bucket hat. And to do this, you're going to fold the paper first into two different parts, equal parts, as you can see in the video. Then you also fold it the second time. Just ensure that you fold it into two equal parts for you to get the round, just like the cover for the bucket hat, the upper part of the bucket hat. So what you're going to do next is to measure your head circumference, just like the image in this video. And my own head circumference is 21 inches divided by 4. So after dividing my head circumference by 4, I got 5.25. And I measured from where I opened, can you see it, from that part, just to like get the accurate circle. So you measure your 5.25. You measure the 5.25 towards the side, just like in the video. And after measuring the 5.25, so that's when we are going to get the circle. So as you can see in this picture, I realized that we didn't see the point where I placed my tape rule in the video. So you're just going to place your tape rule from that point and you measure it to where you marked your 5.25. Then you trace it, whatever you get. Like my own in this video, I got 3.5. So I just measured 3.5 all through, putting my tape rule on the point, that peak of the paper. Then I traced the circle. After tracing the circle, you're going to use the scissors to cut it out to get the circle for the first part of our bucket hat. After cutting out the circle, which is the first part of the bucket hat, you go ahead and label it, just for us to identify each part of the bucket hat. So you go on to the second part, which is part B for the bucket hat. And this white paper is 2.5 inches for the width. And so for us to get the length of this second part, for the first part of the bucket hat, we divided the circumference by 4 inches. But for this second part, which is the part B, we are going to divide the circumference by 2 inches, which means my own measurement is 21 inches. Then I divided it by 2 inches just for me to get the length. So after dividing it by 2, which is 21 inches divided by 2, it gave me 10.5 inches. So I'll mark my 10.5 inches on the paper. After getting the exact measurement, and you need to fold the paper into two places for us to make gaiters or lines. So as you can see in this video, I folded it into two places and used my hand to like press it so I can get the lines. You can see the line. So what we are going to do next is to open up the paper and try to trace the line by using your scissors to like cut it open. So what I did in this video is try to like use my tape rule to measure like 1/4 inch on the white paper on those lines whereby I want to cut, so I don't end up cutting them out entirely because I don't want to cut them into pieces. I just want to like open up the paper. So you just do that. As you can see, I marked the ½ inch, the ½ inch rather, then use my scissors to just cut it to where the point is and stop. Then you go ahead to the second line and do the same thing for all the lines. So what we are going to do next is to bring our white paper and place it on a brown paper. And the brown paper, you can just make it maybe 10 inches by 10 inches or 12 inches by 12 inches. So you go ahead and measure 0.25 in between the lines that you've cut out and try to spread it out. So what we are going to do is we are going to open up the lines that we just cut out, and you're going to open it by 0.25 in order for us to get the shape of the second part of the bucket hat. So you can see me trying to use my pin to hold it in place after measuring the 0.25. We measure the 0.25 in between the lines. As you can see in this video, as I'm opening it up, I will use my tape rule to measure 0.25, mark the dots, and use your pin to hold it in place. If you don't have a pin, you can go ahead and use a sellotape. It's just for us to get like a curve shape of the bucket hat. So for the last part of our bucket hat, which is the C part, what we need is to measure the curved area of the B pattern. As you can see in the video, I pointed at the lower part, the curved area. So my home measurement is 12/4 for that curved area, and that is what I'm going to use for the C part of the bucket hat. As you can see, then I measure it on the white paper and you mark it out on your white paper. My home white paper is a bit longer, so I will need to like cut out the excess. As you can remember that for the B part of our bucket hat, we folded our white paper into 2 places, but this third part, which is the C part, we are going to fold the white paper into 3 places, 3 equal places, because we need more lines to open for the bucket hat, the lower part, which is the C part, for it to be wider and bigger than the other parts of the cap. So as you can see, we have more lines now, and now, like I did earlier, I'm going to go ahead and measure 1/4 inch just for me to know the point whereby I need to stop cutting, because I don't want to cut the paper in 2 pieces. I just want to open it up to get a flare kind of shape. So after opening up the white paper, which is the lines that we already got from folding it 3 times, you go ahead and put it on your brown paper and use your pin to put it in place. So you also go ahead and measure 0.25
for us to open it up and get a wider, like a flare kind of result. As you can see in this video, I measured the 0.25 and use my pin to hold it in place. Go ahead, move on to the next line, measure 0.25, use my pin, hold it in place. Then you do it for the rest of the lines. So you can cut it out and just trace the shape that the white paper gives us in order for us to get that flare result of the bucket hat for the lower part of the bucket hat. So as you can see in this video, I traced it out following the shape of the white paper and I took out my pins. So finally we've come to the end of our bucket hat, like getting the pattern. So we have the three parts. We have the A, we have the B, and we have the C. So you can see that's the circle for the A, which is the upper part, the top part of the hat, and the B for the second part, and the C for the last part of the hat. So guys, finally you can take this pattern to your fabric and any fabric of your choice and just trace them out by adding half sewing allowance to this pattern paper, and you make sure you cut them out in 2 places and join them in your sewing machine. So guys, this is the final results of my own project. I used the pattern paper and I also used an old jeans. Instead of discarding it, I use it to make this bucket hat. So thank you guys for watching and I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.